welcome to episode 65 of the Confident Live Marketing Show. If you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay in the comments. I'm Ian Anderson-Gray, and I help entrepreneurs level up their impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video. And that's what the show is all about. It's about building your confidence through the tech, through the mindset, and through getting in front of the camera, and also with the content and marketing. And in today's show, I'm going to be talking again about Facebook Live Producer. I talked about this a little bit, maybe a couple of episodes ago. So today we're going to be talking about why not to use it. Last time we looked at the why you might want to use it, but today it's why not. So if you've just joined me live, that's great. Awesome. Just let me know in the comments. I'm hoping that all the tech is working today because, well, I'm going to talk about this a little bit after my show intro, but just while I'm here, the last few weeks have been pretty tiring and exhausting. And so things, I've just been so busy with lots and lots of things. And so I haven't actually had the chance to do any of the stuff that I normally do in preparation of the show, like promoting it and letting my email list know and all that kind of stuff. It's just been mad. So it'd be great if we had some live viewers today, but we might not have that many because I've not done my thing. So yeah, that's great. Well, yeah, let me know where in the world you're watching from. And I've also would love to know that, because I was supposed to be in Canada next week, but no, that is not happening. So never mind. It's okay, because we're going to be going to sunny Norfolk in the south of England. So that's going to be great. Clarissa Burt is here. Hi, Clarissa. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in on LinkedIn. Great to see you here. So I think it's time to get on with the show. I've got the podcast recording. I've got all the tech working, and I hope you're excited as I take you through some of the reasons why you might not want to use Facebook Live Producer. Here we go. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
This is the Confident Live Marketing Podcast. Confident Live Marketing Podcast with Ian Anderson-Gray, helping entrepreneurs level up their impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video. Gain confidence in front of the camera, confidence with technology, and confidence with the content and marketing.
Together, we can go live!
Hello and welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Show. This is where we help entrepreneurs level up their impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video. This is episode 65. I can't quite believe we're on episode 65. Wow, that's pretty awesome. We've got some lovely guests here watching. If you're watching the replay, as I said before, just put hashtag replay in the comments. And if you're watching live, I'd love to know where in the world you're from. Clarissa Burt is here, as I mentioned just before I started recording this. She is from Phoenix, Arizona. Not been down to Phoenix, although we were pretty close to it when we went about 10 or 11 years ago. We did the kind of typical touristy thing and Grand Canyon, all that kind of stuff. So how is it in Phoenix? I expect it's pretty hot there. And we've got, now hopefully I'm going to pronounce your name correctly, we've got Lano Matthias from Vietnam, which is awesome. How are things in Vietnam? Be great to know that. And he's also asking me, am I using Restream with Ecamm? Now that is pretty impressive that you deduced that. Indeed I am. Indeed I am today. I'm using Ecamm Live with Restream. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about my setup because I'm so excited about this. My goodness. The combination of using Ecamm Live with Restream. I mean, just to let you know a little bit, this is, sorry, if you can just excuse my geekiness for 1 second. But basically, this is such a good system. It allows me to broadcast to multiple platforms at the same time. Today, we're going live to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope, Twitch, OK, Acriva TV, VK, and a few other places as well. But I can also get the comments. So I can see that Clarissa, you're saying it's very hot in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm not surprised. So it's great that I can bring in Clarissa's comments. And do keep the comments coming today. And if you've got any questions about Facebook Live Producer, that would be awesome. So that's the other thing. But also Ecamm Live have been working on a new system, a new setup to bring in guests remotely. And if you're watching today, which is Thursday the 30th, if you hop on over to the Ecamm channel later, you might see some of us testing it out, the new guest feature. It's still in beta or beta, depending on how you pronounce it. But Yeah, that's really, really cool. So I'm really excited about this, and I've been holding off bringing in guests onto the show because so far I've had to rely on Skype, and yeah, it's kind of taking over my system, and I've had a few problems with that. So there we go. Also, so Leno says, very good here in Vietnam. Love your live stream. You're doing great. Thank you so much. And Heather Nichols is here from Dallas in Texas. Howdy from Dallas. Great to see you, Heather. Hope you're doing well. What have you been up to recently, Heather? Because, I think the last time I physically saw you was in San Diego in March. That seems a long time away. A lot has happened since then. So anyway, first of all, before I get on with talking about today's topic, which is Facebook Live Producer, I do want to mention my first sponsor, which is, if tech is going to work, it is Content 10X. Content 10X is awesome. They have been sponsoring this show and this podcast since the beginning. And they are the complete content repurposing solution for you. So the great thing about this is if you produce live video, once you've got the confidence going with things and you can produce a live show very quickly and easily, you can then take it over to them, and Content 10X will then turn that into a plethora of different content on LinkedIn, on YouTube, podcast, blog posts, you name it. And they've got this new service now called LinkedIn 10X. So if you just go to 10x.com, content10x.com, you can find out all about this. And this is all about basically becoming a thought leader and increasing your reach and your expertise on LinkedIn just by producing one video every week. They will take that one video and do so much amazing, cool stuff on LinkedIn. So if LinkedIn is your platform, definitely check out that. But it's definitely good to check out its Content 10X if you're doing live video and other stuff too. Whether you want to hire them to do it, or if you want to learn how to do more content repurposing, you can find out more. They've got a blog, they've got a podcast, they've got a book, they've got so much other stuff there. And I thank Amy and the team at Content 10X for continuing to sponsor the show. I really, really appreciate that. Heather Nichols says, nice, looking forward to the guest feature. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Can't wait for that. It's been a little bit buggy, but I think the bugs have pretty much gone, which is awesome. So, just a few updates from me before we dig into why not to use Facebook Live Producer, and also explain what Facebook Live Producer is. But yeah, the last couple of months, I'd love to know if you're watching. How have the last few weeks been, a few months in fact, been for you? It's been a really difficult time for so many people in the world with the coronavirus happening. And obviously, if you're listening to this or watching this in the future, yes, we're still in the middle of this mad time of world lockdown because of COVID-19. But yeah, it's been a difficult time, but it's also been a really amazing time for those who want to embrace digital and live video. And so for me, it's actually been incredibly busy, and there's been a lot of pressure on me, actually. I feel that I've been wanting to help so many people, and there's just so little time to do that. But for me, yeah, personally, although it's been a really, really busy time, it's been a really fruitful time. It's actually been really good for my business and coaching, consultancy, course sales. They've all really gone through the roof, which is amazing. And also I've had the opportunity to work as a brand ambassador and a show host for some amazing brands out there, such as InVideo, which you may have heard of. They're an amazing online video editing tool. And of course, Restream as well. I'm hosting their Go Live with Restream show. And also the opportunity to work with other live video companies. That's been amazing. And I think it showed me really what are the bits in my business that I love doing. I wonder whether that's helped you and made you focus on what bits of your business you really want to focus on. And the lockdown, I think, has taught me that, definitely. So the great thing for me is that I've been able to invest back in my business and do a few more exciting things. The things that I've been putting off for ages. And so this is something I'd love to ask you. You know, how are there things in your business that you've been putting off because you've been trying to do it yourself? You're kind of like the roadblock. And so I know that's been the case for me. For example, messenger bots. I've been overthinking it and overcomplicating it and avoiding Facebook Messenger bots, but it's now time for me to invest in that. So I've hired someone with that to help me with that. I've hired somebody to help with repurposing my live shows into blog posts, Facebook ads, and I'm really excited about this this opportunity to be able to grow my business and do some really cool things, particularly on this show. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to be launching a Facebook Live course. It's a really definitive course teaching you everything you need to know to launching a really professional live show. So that's going to be coming out later in August. I finally, well, just about finished it today, just a few extra things to do. So there we go. Right, so it's time to talk about Facebook Live Producer. Facebook Live Producer, I mentioned on the show a couple of episodes ago. It's, in fact, let me just show you on the screen here. So, to create create live videos through Facebook itself. You can either do this straight away, or you can schedule this for the future. And this can be for your page, your profile, your group, or events. And you can find this just by going to facebook.com/live/producer. So you can see on this page here that I've got in front of me, I'm in Facebook Live Producer at the moment, I've created a scheduled live, and in fact, it's not scheduled, so I'm actually going to go live now. But I could quite easily, just by clicking on scheduling a live video in the top left, I could do that. So that allows me to schedule a live video up to a week in advance, which is really cool. But today we're going to be talking about some of the disadvantages of using this. And I suppose the first thing that I want to mention is, well, it's great if you're going to use a tool, a geeky tool like OBS Studio. We've talked about third-party live video tools. I mean, there's loads. There's OBS Studio, there's Wirecast, there's Ecamm Live, there's StreamYard, BeLive, Restream Studio. So many of these. But if you're going to use a tool like OBS Studio, you have to use a tool like this. You have to use Facebook Live Producer to generate the stream key. But for most other tools out there, you don't need this, because those tools create the post for you, the live video post, whether it's in the future, a scheduled one, or whether it's straight away. So the tools that allow you to do that, BeLive does it, Restream Studio does it, StreamYard does it, Ecamm Live does it, Wirecast does it. Pretty much all of them do that for you. So you don't have to go into Facebook Live Producer and fiddle around with those settings. So that's the first thing to say. It's really important to know the difference. All of this, by the way, it is all to do with going live using a third-party tool. You can go live with Facebook Live Producer on the web using your webcam, but if you're going live from your phone, you don't need to worry about any of this. So just think about think about that. That's important. So if you just joined me today, we're talking about Facebook Live Producer and why not to use Facebook Live Producer. Have you used Facebook Live Producer? If you have, or if you haven't, let me know in the comments. And if you've got any questions about Facebook Live Producer, I'd love to know. So that first point is really there's kind of no need to use it for most tools, unless you're going to be using OBS Studio or some other tools out there. There are some other more geeky scenarios if you're going to be sending the signal via an RTMP stream. So, but again, this is really down to like the likes of using OBS Studio or some other tool where you need to do that. The next point. So let me share my screen again. Obviously, if you're listening to the podcast, you won't be able to see what I'm showing on the screen. So the other thing is that I think it's a little bit clunky and difficult to use. Well, it's not difficult once you get your head around it. And do go back and listen to or watch at the episode from a couple of weeks ago when I do a walkthrough of Facebook Live Producer. But it's not really for beginners. It takes a little bit of time to get your head around this. You know, you've got a few kind of complicated things on here, like use a persistent stream key, use a backup stream, server URL, stream key. I mean, what on earth is all that about? Now, I went through all of those settings last time, but it can be, to begin with, you can look at that and be a little bit overwhelmed when you look at some of those settings. So it's not for beginners. It can put you off, but I don't think this isn't a reason on its own to stay away from this, because I think it is easy to learn. But yeah, those two things I would definitely I would say are reasons why you probably want to avoid Facebook Live Producer. So do think about that. Also, it's a little bit buggy. Now, let's see if I can do this bug. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to bring in a comment. So, got. See if I can add it. I use StreamYard. I found Ecamm to be a bit daunting while interviewing my guests. Yeah, thank you, Clarissa. So, yeah, I think StreamYard is great, or Restream Studio is great, because they work through the browser. So you can bring in guests really easily by just sending them a link. So that's what you do, Clarissa. You basically start your show, or you schedule your show, and then you send them a link, an invite link, and then they just hop on. And it all works. It's amazing. Really, really quick and easy. So that's the same for quite a few live video tools out there. BeLive is the same. StreamYard, Restream Studio, and other tools out there. I think Wirecast and vMix have similar kind of things. Ecamm Live, and I think this was your issue, Clarissa. It's talking about it being a bit daunting. You're not alone in thinking this. And I know the guys at Ecamm Live have been working really hard to improve this. Because at the moment, Ecamm Live relies on Skype. Now, I don't have the same issue as some other people have with Skype. Skype is actually, for the most of the time, it works really well for me, but not everyone has that same experience. And so what the guys at Ecamm Live have been working on is the ability to bring them in via the web. So it'll work in the same way as what you're used to, Clarissa. All you need to do is give them a link. They will go to that link, select their webcam and microphone, and then they'll just pop up in Ecamm, and you bring them onto the show. I've been playing around with it, and I'm really, really impressed. And so if you're around later today on Wednesday the 30th of July, just go over to the Ecamm channel, and we'll be playing around with it and testing it, which will be cool. Heather, I'm just laughing here because I've just seen Heather's comment. The superhero voice inflection was spot on. Yes, well, I do try my best. What I need is a bit of reverb. Okay, so this is interesting. When switch scene, the sound muted for 2 to 3 seconds. Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder whether there's a bug. There might be a bug. So if I do this, if I change my scene, if I do, where's the screen one? Hello. There, I don't know. So yeah, let me know. Clarissa also says, okay, I just updated Ecamm and we'll see you later. Yes, Ecamm. So this is not out yet. This is in a closed beta at the moment, but hopefully it'll come out very soon. But thank you, Clarissa. So there we go. It's time to, you mentioned StreamYard, Clarissa. It's time to talk about StreamYard, because StreamYard is also one of the sponsors of the show. I'm so excited about StreamYard. StreamYard does such an amazing platform. It is a live video streaming tool that works within the web, so it's quick and easy for you, and it has so many amazing features. So I've had to write them down. Here. So, for example, the ability to highlight comments on the screen and add your own titles, having up to 9 guests on your show without any extra software, being able to share your screen, adding your own brand colors. You can also stream to Facebook, Periscope, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube. And you can use green screens as well. All of that is on the free version of StreamYard. So if you just go to iag.me/StreamYard, you can find out all about that. But if you go for one of the paid options, you can do so many more cool things, such as the ability to add your own logo, overlays, backgrounds, videos of up to 5 minutes, and multi-streaming to up to 5 different destinations. So definitely check out StreamYard. Thank you so much to the guys at StreamYard, Gage and his team, for sponsoring this show. I really appreciate that. And all you need to do is go to iag.me/StreamYard. Right, so yes, hopefully it is working. Apparently my sound is coming in and out for a few seconds every once in a while. So I wonder whether it is when I change scene. So there we go. It might be because at the moment I'm using a very cutting edge version of Ecamm. So there may be a few more bugs. This is not in the stable version of Ecamm. I've just been playing around with it. So yeah. Leno asks a really good question. Which one is better, Ecamm or StreamYard? And that's a really difficult question to answer, actually. So, I mean, I would definitely go to my website, iag.me, and one of the articles there, it's the top live streaming tools for 2020. Have a look at that article because I go through pretty much all the live streaming tools and look at their pros and the cons. And so I'm a bit kind of reluctant to, in a way, to kind of answer that question because it's actually really difficult. It depends on your solution. First of all, if you are a PC user, you can't use Ecamm because Ecamm is only for Mac. And also, if you're looking for, depending on the situation. So, for example, my church has been live streaming and I've been helping them with that. And Ecamm hasn't been the best solution for them because we've actually wanted to bring in lots of different guests remotely, in fact, up to 6 or 7, and StreamYard allows us to do that. But one problem has been that being able to play videos over 5 minutes, we've not been able to do that within StreamYard. So it kind of depends on your setup, your situation. I often recommend starting with a tool like Restream Studio or StreamYard and starting off with that. And then maybe as your needs progress or you have different needs, then you could go over to a tool like vMix for PC or Ecamm Live for Mac. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Another comment from Clarissa says, Ian, to which LinkedIn god do I have to pray to get LinkedIn Live? I've applied 6 times. I speak to entrepreneurs and have 30,000 people on LinkedIn. Clarissa, I feel your pain. You are not the only one. You're not the only one. In fact, it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. I know so many people out there. From what I gather, they've had to pause. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but they had to pause the intake of bringing other people in. They've got some things that they want to deal with within LinkedIn Live and build it as a tool. And then the other thing to say is they've not really been wanting to bring in marketers or necessarily entrepreneurs. Well, they have, but they're wanting to diversify. So they're wanting plumbers and window cleaners as well as marketers and entrepreneurs. And so actually, it's just a harsh thing to say, Clarissa, but it doesn't actually matter how many connections you have and how influential you necessarily are. They've certainly in the past, they've been looking for diversity. So my only thing to say to you is, Clarissa, is just be patient and hopefully they will sort it out. But yeah, it's taken its time. And the other thing, by the way, is do go and just test out to see whether you can actually broadcast a LinkedIn Live, because I found out from somebody recently they weren't even notified that they had LinkedIn Live and they had it. So do check out and see whether you can actually connect to with LinkedIn Live with StreamYard or Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live doesn't have StreamYard. Ecamm Live doesn't have LinkedIn Live yet. But StreamYard, Restream Studio, all of those do. So check out and see whether that works. Clarissa says, "Oh, okay, I can clean windows too." Well, maybe that's what it is. This could be a beautiful new career for you, window cleaning. I'm only joking. So let's get back to Facebook Live Producer. So this is probably the main couple of reasons that I want to talk about when it comes to Facebook Live Producer and why I don't often use it. I certainly don't use Facebook Live Producer to create my live shows, my scheduled live shows. I will use another tool and then I'll go in and maybe use it later. So here we go. Now, hopefully the audio might cut out here. Let's see. Tell me if the audio cuts out. And you should be able to see this. So what I'm going to do is start typing in here in the description box. So okay, so if I, for example, try and tag in, that works. So I can tag in Mary Smith there, but I think if I go down, let's put down there, and then if I try and do it again, do you know what? It's working now. But what I found is that sometimes if you, maybe Facebook has actually fixed this bug, but I found that when I type in the description of the Facebook Live in Facebook Live Producer, that I couldn't tag further down in the description. I could tag at the beginning, but not at the end. But maybe they've actually fixed that. And if they have, that's wonderful. In fact, maybe they have. Okay. So there we go. But it still is, I have noticed it is a little bit buggy in places. So We'll have to see about that. So there we go. So the second thing that I wanted to talk about is this weird thing about that Facebook have embraced, which is all to do with duplicate posts. I'll explain what I mean. So Facebook have actually produced this here, and I will put a link in the comments to this. So this is an introduction to Facebook Live, and they actually say that when you schedule a live broadcast, 2 posts are automatically created. So I wonder whether you've ever seen this. The first type of post that you get is an announcement post. When you schedule your live broadcast, an announcement post is published to your page, letting your followers know that you have an upcoming live stream. People who see the announcement post can click get reminder to receive a one-time reminder notification shortly before the stream begins. And then the second post that you get is a live broadcast post. At the scheduled time of your broadcast, of your live broadcast, a post containing your live stream will automatically be published. People who expressed interest via the announcement post get a notification directing them to the broadcast. So when this when this ends, you end up getting 2 posts. You get the announcement post that shows that this live video has ended, and then you get the other post that shows about the live video itself, and so it's all very strange. So you get the 2 posts. The first one's the announcement post that then ends up showing this has now ended, and then the second post is the actual live video, which ends up just becoming a normal pre-recorded video. I hope I'm explaining that, but don't worry, because I'm actually going to show you this live on air. What could possibly go wrong? Lano says, do you provide online coaching for starting a YouTube channel? I'm about to start one. I don't actually. I mean, I do one-to-one consultancy and coaching. So I can do that kind of thing. I don't have any courses or anything like that. So if you want to get in touch, just go to iag.me/contact and you can contact me. And if I can't help you, I know lots of people who can in this world. In fact, we've had quite a few on the show as well. So let's go back to that's a great question. So I'd love to know more. Put me in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking of doing with your YouTube channel. What space is it, and what have you thought about? And maybe we could have a little chat about that. That'd be cool. Okay. To Facebook Live Producer. So what I'm going to do, let's go back to Facebook Live Producer here, if it's going to work. And I'm going to just load up, if my computer can cope with this. And I think this might be one reason why the audio might be cutting out occasionally, is because I'm running too many things at the same time. But I've just put on the screen here OBS Studio, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to start streaming to that Facebook post. So let's just do that. So I'm going to click on the live streaming button. It's connecting. Let's go back to here. So it says at the bottom, waiting for live video. It says connecting live video, and hopefully, yeah, you can see me there on the bottom right if you're watching. So if you're listening to this, I can see in the thumbnail at the bottom right of the screen that Facebook is receiving this signal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a test here. I've also published this as a test broadcast, which you can do on your page. So let's do that. Start a test. Okay, so I've just realized this is going to create a live post on Facebook. So let's have a quick look at this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on posts, and then you will be able to see me go live. And because I haven't scheduled this, there will only be one live video post. So that is good. We don't want the 2. So let's have a quick look down. I can see I'm live on the left there. And then it will show me the live video post in hopefully a few seconds. But it's taking, I think my computer is slowing down quite a bit. So there we go. So it's there, almost there. It's almost loading, I'm going to answer Leno's comment while I'm doing that. So, oh yes, he's talking about his channel. So he says, well, I'm planning to illustrate my journey, not letting life challenge me. That is still a broad idea, but I'm excited to start it. Oh, I'd love to know more. That sounds awesome. Definitely tell me more. Okay, so I think my page is just taking far too long to load. So I'm going to stop that, which is a shame. Or maybe I'll just kind of let it do its thing in the background. Oh, here we go. I think it's loading up. It's just taking a long time. There we go. So I can see that I'm live. Oh, is that the right one? There we go. That's the one here. So that's the one. It's got a grey live. So if it shows a grey, normally when you're live, it will be a red box with live. But if it's a test one, it will show it as a grey box. So that is just one post there, which is cool. So I'm going to now go back to OBS Studio and stop that stream. Okay, great. Now let's go back to Facebook Live Producer, and I'm going to create a scheduled post. So this is, I'm going to end that broadcast. So click on end, and hopefully that will end okay. So there we go. Yeah, I'm going to end that. So I've now ended that video. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a scheduled live. So let's go and create a new one. Facebook Live Producer. Leno says, I guess you didn't receive the full message. Maybe. Oh, okay. So, yeah, sorry about that. I think it might have truncated your comments. I'll go back afterwards and I'll get back to you because I can't see the whole thing there, which is a shame. So let's see if I can show you this now in Facebook Live Producer. It's so hot in here and I haven't got air conditioning. I'm doing my best. And I think that's not helping my computer either. So come on, let's do it. It's taking its time. So Facebook Live Producer. This is what happens when you've got too many things running in the background. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Schedule a Live Video, or Schedule a Live Video, as we say in the UK. And I'm going to just put in a time. So I can, with Facebook, I can put it 10 minutes in the future. So I'm going to change that to 3:15 p.m. Great. Okay, I'm going to change that to my page. Page I manage. Okay, so it's going to refresh the page, which is a bit annoying. But let's let it do its thing. So I want to go live to my page. And this is the great thing about Live Producer. You can go live to your profile as well through this, which is pretty good. So there we go. Taking its time. I need a break. I definitely need a break. Looking forward to my vacation. So there we go. So I'm going live then. Let's just put in test. If I can type. And let's put in test there as well. And let's just change that to 16 because I think we're going to miss the window of 10 minutes if I don't do that. So let's now go down to the bottom. And now what I can do is I can select that I want this to be a private. Is it going to allow me to do this? For some reason, it's not allowing me to select a private post. That's annoying. Maybe I can't. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe I can't do this on a scheduled live. Maybe I can't do that. Okay, fine. Well, let's just do that anyway. Let's schedule a live video. So it's scheduling it now. So I've clicked on that. It's now going to create 2 posts. So it says the live has been successfully scheduled at today at 3:16 p.m. That's a bad English. The live has been successfully scheduled at today at 3:16 p.m. There we go. Facebook, you really need to sort it out. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Facebook page now. And I'm going to refresh that page. So that's probably going to take about 5 hours to load because my computer's doing far too many things at the same time.